Sources: Maine mass shooting suspect Robert Card found dead. Lewiston, Maine. Maine mass shooting suspect Robert Card has been found dead, sources tell the WBZ I-Team. More details are expected to be released at a news conference Friday night at 10 p.m. at Lewiston City Hall. Time equals 400 ms, greater than. Watch CBS Boston News. Boston live coverage. Card, 40, is accused of shooting and killing 18 people and wounding 13 others at a bowling alley and a restaurant in Lewiston, Maine on Wednesday, October 25. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner said there were 16 male victims and 2 female victims. Police were still processing both scenes for evidence Friday. The shelter-in-place order for the Lewiston area was lifted Friday afternoon. All 18 victims of the shooting have been identified. The discovery of Card's body ended an intense 48-hour manhunt. Time equals 400 ms, greater than. The safety of our community remains paramount, said Lewiston Police Chief David Street Pierre. On behalf of hundreds of law enforcement officials who have descended upon our great city over the last 3 days, we want to extend our heartfelt support as well as sympathies to the victims and families involved in this senseless tragedy. Time equals 400 ms, greater than. Officers raided a house in Bowdoin, Maine Thursday that they believed was connected to Card. He wasn't there, however. One U.S. official told CBS News police found a note inside the home. The note is being described as a possible suicide note addressed to his son, according to current and former U.S. officials. Time equals 400 ms, greater than. There was a note at one of these residences. I'm not prepared to talk about what that included. That does involve, is there a mindset here? Is there a motive? What did that entail? We'll definitely continue to work on that, and when we can release it we certainly will, Sawchuk said Friday. Massachusetts State Police said they are in regular contact with Maine State Police about the case. Sawchuk said there will be daily briefings at 10 a.m. at Lewiston City Hall until Card is captured. He also announced a website for people to report tips at fbi.gov/LewistonTips. That first night we had 70-ish or so witnesses, he said, adding that the FBI helped with the massive task of transcribing interviews. Read. Timeline of Lewiston, Maine shootings. Authorities have searched multiple properties in the area for Card as a lockdown in and around Lewiston continued Friday. The Coast Guard, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, the Border Patrol and the FBI are all part of the search, which stretches to New York and Canada. A white Subaru Outback registered to Card was found Wednesday night near a boat launch by the Androscoggin River in Lisbon. A weapon was found in the car, but it's not clear yet if it's connected to the attacks. To help divers in the underwater search Friday, authorities have slowed the current and lowered the levels in the river by controlling a nearby dam. The river is a big piece of this. The car was located there. Evidence is located in the vehicle or right there along the shores, Sawchuk said. He added that they will continually re-evaluate the shelter-in-place orders in Lewiston, Bowdoin, Lisbon, and Auburn, Maine. We realize that we want to keep our community safe, but we know that a shelter-in-place order in general can have some negative impacts on families, going to school, and businesses, Sawchuk told reporters. Time equals 400 ms, greater than. Investigators are looking into whether Card was allegedly targeting a current or former girlfriend, 2 U.S. officials and a former high-ranking official told CBS News. It's not clear yet if she was at either of the 2 sites that were attacked. CBS News has learned the gunman used a semi-automatic assault rifle with an extended magazine and a scope. It's also not clear how or when he got the gun or guns used in the shootings. The weapon found in Card's car was legally purchased, a law enforcement source confirmed to CBS News Friday as investigators continued to trace shell casings found at both scenes. Investigators are also aware that Card allegedly had access to several other guns, according to 2 law enforcement sources. One of those sources said the number of firearms could potentially be in the double digits. Dr. Richard King, the chief of trauma at Central Maine Medical Center in Lewiston, told CBS Mornings the survivors' wounds from the high-velocity rounds are absolutely destructive. Card enlisted in the U.S. Army as a reservist in 2002. He was never trained as a firearms instructor. One of Card's cousins, Michael Mercier, told WBZ TV Card has a lot going on in his head, and called him a schizophrenic. Law enforcement sources told CBS News correspondent Jeff Pegues that Card had allegedly been threatening to kill people for months. He also seemed to be behaving erratically at a military facility in New York back in July. Card was allegedly hearing voices and threatened to shoot up a base. He was sent to a mental health facility but was only there for 2 weeks before he was released. Time equals 400 ms. Greater than. Pegues reported that federal law prohibits people from possessing guns if they've been formally committed to a mental health facility. The details around Card's mental health examination are not yet fully known, and it's not clear if he was flagged to a federal database. Read, what are Maine's gun laws? In Maine, you do not need to have a background check before buying a gun from an unlicensed or private seller.